The Bamboo Project podcast starts in 3, 2.
Welcome to the Bamboo Project podcast. My name is DonivanGray, the future $10 billion man. On the way to 10 billion, I decided I am going to help create 1,000 millionaires, including myself. And not by being a guru or selling a course, but by doing the things I already love to do every day and documenting my journey to get there. I figure I'll make all the mistakes so you don't have to. My name is DonivanGray, and this is how I will turn my life into a living. I'd like to start off by giving a shout out to all the people rocking with us and supporting the channel. We really appreciate you. We are currently streaming on all major streaming platforms such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Anchor. You name it, we on it. And if we not on it, we about to be on it. For everyone listening to this podcast and not watching it, you can find us on YouTube at The Bamboo Project. We have over 500 videos on our channel. Do you want to learn real estate? We got that. Do you want cooking tutorials inspired by Dr.Sebi? We got that. Do you want travel and lifestyle vlogs? Got it. Do you want hair and makeup tutorials? Got it. Basketball? Got it. Turo? Got it. Candles? Got it. It's everything us. All the parts of the journey that do not make it to YouTube will be on our story. You can find me on Instagram at DonivanGray, DonivanGray, and my phenomenal, beautiful, amazing girlfriend, Anita Byrne, ANETABURN. We made different playlists for all the things we're into, and you can find each of those links in the description box below. This may be your first time here, and if it is, welcome to the family. But for everyone else, this is chapter 3, page 149. Okay, all video and audio timestamps will be in the description box below. Today's date is Tuesday, January 24th, and it is 1:28 p.m. So now, before we get into the topics of the day, we always start off with screen time. And I want to say, I think I figured it out this time. All right, I think I figured it out. And for those who are new, the reason why I do a screen time check every week is so that I can learn how to reduce my screen time. And because if I don't take advantage of my phone, then my phone is taking advantage of me, and I can't have that on my path to $10 billion. All right, so for last week, every day I spent an average of 8 hours and 48 minutes on my phone every single day last week, which is down from the week before, which was 10 hours and 4 minutes. So that is a 13% decrease on my phone usage. All right, my number one usage was YouTube. Okay, so we're back at the top. No more Instagram. Number 2 is Instagram. So it's not number 1, it's number 2. And then number 3 is camera for 7 hours and 52 minutes for the whole week. That's roughly about an hour a day on my camera, which is recorded for the vlog. So if you really want to, like, mathematically, I'm technically under 8 hours. Because you can't really count camera time, because that's like, you know what? Maybe when we get a nice vlog camera, I can even reduce my screen time even more from that. So shout out to the camera whenever we buy that. And Square's 3 hours and 43 minutes. And if I go by category, 17 hours on productivity and finance, 14 hours on social, and 11 hours on creativity, which is the camera and photo. And now for my daily pickups. Last week, on average, I picked up my phone 150 times, and my first used app after pickup was Instagram, funny enough. So I didn't use it as much last week, but I did pick it up and go on there first. Then it's YouTube, and then it's the mail, and I had an average of 71 notifications last week. All right, so now, yes, what is your screen time for last week?
Last week, I was on my phone an average of 6 hours and 8 minutes. I'm down 8% from the week before.
What was it? What hours? What was it?
6 hours and 8 minutes. My most used app was Instagram for 9 hours and 12 minutes. My second most used app was Candy Crush.
Wow.
6 hours and 33 minutes. Because I played on, I think I used Instagram and Candy Crush on my way to the fairs.
So about an hour a day.
And on the way home. Gmail for 4 hours, camera for 3.5 hours, music for 1.5 hours. I'm surprised FaceTime isn't on here. But yeah. And then I pick up my phone 178 times.
Wow. Per day?
Total,
per day?
That's an average.
Oh my God, that's insane.
Oh my God. Okay? Nobody said, oh my God. When you be saying that you on your phone 10 hours, an average a week, 13 hours.
178 times on average. What's the highest number?
267 times.
Oh my God.
On Saturday.
That's a lot. Jesus.
So I have it is up 25%. It's a total of 1,249 pickups per week. So I pick my phone up a lot, but I don't stay on it for a long period of time.
Sure. Pick it up how many? Okay.
I check the first use app after pickup is Gmail.
If you were to do the math, what would it be for 100?
Why we doing math? If you were to do the math, why you on your phone?
Because your number is 270. That's tough.
But
I'm like,
but I only be on my phone for 6 hours.
But if you pick up your phone like every 3 minutes,
that's half the time that you.
I'll do the math for you. That's
half the time. Do math on your
8 hours.
Do math on your
divided by.
How many minutes is that?
170.
How many minutes is? Let's see. 60 minutes.
170 divided by
times 12 hours. 720 minutes now.
So you pick up your phone 21 times an hour? That's not that much. 21 hours. Well, I'm telling you, wake up.
That's crazy. How many times I wake up?
I feel like you wake up at probably
crazy.
like.
That's crazy.
You probably wake up at like 10. I feel like you probably have about 11 or 12 hours of being awake. So let's see. If you got 12 hours of being awake, divided by 170. No, that's wrong. Okay, so we got 170 divided by 12 is 14 times an hour. Okay, so now 14 times an hour, which would be divided by.
Listen, for someone who be on their phone for 13 hours.
So if you're doing 14 pickups in an hour,
on my pickups.
So if you did divided by 60 divided by 60,
6.
So that's 2 pickups every hour.
6 hours.
So yeah, you do about 3 pickups every hour.
6 hours.
So it's tough. It's tough. So here is what I have done for my screen time, which has been helping, because for this week so far, my screen time is only at like 5 hours for the week, like each day. So I had to.
So far it's Tuesday. Like it's only been like 2 days.
What do you mean?
Today not over yet.
They count Sunday.
Okay.
It's Sunday.
It's gonna end up at
How you forget Sunday?
Huh?
How you forget Sunday? It's 3 days.
I said today's not over yet.
But you said this only Tuesday, like it's the second day. It's 3 days. So on average, it's 5 hours. Don't be a hater, Melissa. No. So as I was saying before I was interrupted by the hater, what I have done is I have been very intentional about my phone usage this week. Okay, the most important thing I did this week was add notifications to my phone, because normally I don't like having notifications. I feel like it just increases anxiety of all the messages and the notes and the dings and the this and the that, right? So I said, okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set notifications for only the apps that I'm gonna check, which would be Discord, messages, anything that's money related. So Etsy, Shopify, Amazon, the Square app, anything that's have money coming, I'm checking that. And then Instagram, I have the notifications on for that, and I also have the notifications on for YouTube, right? So one thing I've learned about now having notifications on as opposed to before is I would not know if I got a message or not. So my brain would always be thinking like, maybe you're missing a message right now, go and check. So that kind of pattern and that loop of doing that over and over again then has me checking it and being on it more often. And I'm stuck in the reel, and now I'm scrolling in the doom scroll, and that's it. So now I can tap my phone, right, and see that I have no notifications. So I have no reason to open up my phone and check Instagram if somebody DM me about a candle. I have a reason to check if YouTube, someone commented on the candle page or the Bamboo Project page. I don't have to look at it now because I know it's not there. The other thing I did was I moved my Instagram app all the way to its own page, which is like 6 pages deep in my phone, right? And the most important thing I think I did other than that was I removed Siri suggestions on the phone. So for those who do not have an iPhone, right, they probably something similar on your phone, which may be Google or Android or something of that nature. You can swipe down and then you can kind of search your phone for a particular app. So how Siri suggestion works is it'll suggest which app you either use often or things you want to use. So before I would swipe down, Instagram would be right there. I would just click on it. But now, because I removed that, when I swipe down, I have to now type in Instagram. Not only have to type it in, I have a 1 minute duration on my Instagram. So that means that for the majority of the day, it's going to be grayed out. So here's how my process goes to open Instagram. I have to swipe down, right? Then I have to type it in. Then I have to click on the app. Then I have to tell Instagram or tell my phone, yes, I know I'm over my 1 minute limit. I want to keep going. It says how long? I say 15 minutes. It goes sure. So now I'm on it for 15 minutes. I get a notification that says, hey, Donovan, you have been on your phone for 15 minutes on Instagram. Do you want to leave it? And I go, you know what? Fine. Or no, I won't. So I might stay in there for another 30 or for another 15 minutes. Now I'm on it for 30 minutes. I go, you know what? I have another notification that says 15 minutes is up. So now I'm like, you know what? That's 2 back to back. I think I'm done. I think I'm done for Instagram right now. And I just go off and I leave it there. And I've noticed myself getting more focused on the work that I'm trying to get done by doing that. And the last addition I've made to my phone is adding Google Maps. No, not Google Maps, Google Calendar. So now I have a widget on my phone, iPhone, that has all of our things that we have to do for Google Calendar, which would be either I put subscriptions on there so I know what's coming up. I have all our craft fairs on there. Melissa's meetings be on there a lot. And the task for the day is the other one that's on there. So on the bottom, it'll now say to me, these are the things you have to do for today. So I think that I'm getting better. My phone is being more optimized. I like it. And I'm enjoying it. I'm going to see how this week goes. Because I think I changed that. I might have changed that maybe like Thursday or something. So shout out to everybody out there trying to keep in control of their screen time. All right. So topic number 1. Which one should I go with first? I think for topic number 1, make it short and sweet. I got you. RDW is crazy. Obviously, my guy's crazy. I think that he or she is sponsored by DoorDash and all of the food delivery companies to get me back on my bike. There's obviously a conspiracy that you are a part of to get me on the bike. Okay? The last comment that my guy or girl left, yeah, he was saying that what about rent? You don't mind paying rent? Dude, ride, do the bike thing. What if they evict you? And I understand you care about us and that you want us to succeed, and I appreciate you for that. Okay, the last thing that Melissa and I will ever do is get back on a bike to ride for Uber Eats, DoorDash, or Postmates. Okay, as I've said before to you and other people listening to the podcast, the amount of money and work required to make the amount of money that you are talking about, okay, which would be $6,000 a day, a month. And that would just be me by myself working, as shout out to Sarah Rue said, more or less 18-hour days to make that amount of money. And I'll be leaving Melissa to do every single thing, double book craft fairs, triple book craft fairs, everything dolo by herself, right? But when it comes to riding the bike, okay, the next time you comment, I need you to break down to me the mathematics that you have for why it makes sense for me to ride the bike. No, first, why it makes sense mathematically. I need a day by day, and I need numbers, because I'm a numbers guy, of why it makes sense for me and Melissa to ride the bike, right? What that would entail. And then I also need mathematically broken down for me, because you said Melissa could do the calculus by herself, and I would then go and do the bike rider thing. So I need you to break that down. Let me know what you think I will make per day from doing my bike riding, and then you comment that. Let me know. Okay? So that's my homework for you. Now, the next thing, okay, the next topic. Shout out to Jelani and Grace. Okay, shout out to both of them. They watch and support the Bamboo Project, and they have a video on their channel, which I will put in the link, I will put the link of that video in this description, so you can go see what they are attempting to do. According to him, he does not want to duck the smoke. I said, okay. So that means that they are now going to, and correct me if I'm wrong, start a candle company and also a YouTube channel that will outpace us, and I quote. By which time, I don't know. Okay. Watching the video, I definitely enjoyed it. I have some good laughs. I thought the intro was amazing. I would personally use that music for this intro for the podcast. I even thought about doing it. So if you heard it, then I did it. If you didn't hear it, then I didn't do it, obviously. And I think that RDW will love their take on this, okay? So RDW was telling me and Melissa to ride a bike to be able to pay rent, and I'm not sure what else it was. Maybe stack money, some other craziness. They said that they are going to use the money from side hustles such as Uber Eats, DoorDash, Instacart, and things of that nature to be able to fund their YouTube channel and to be able to fund their candle company. Now I'm thinking about it. Does that include equipment for the YouTube channel, babe? What do you think? Do you think that because if they have a camera and a green screen, was that bought with YouTube and candle money, or was that bought with money from somewhere else? Gotta think about that. Because in the video, they made it very apparent that they would use $0 from. And now I think about it. How did y'all even get money to buy equipment for the candles if y'all didn't use money from somewhere else? Did y'all start doing DoorDash already? I didn't see that in the video. I'm gonna need y'all to listen. The video is supposed to drop on Tuesday. They said on their channel, Tuesday and Friday every week they will drop a video. And personally, I don't know if y'all can tell, I am excited to watch the videos because I think that it was very enjoyable. That morning, Melissa and I watched the video. We had some good laughs, and I want to see the journey because at the end of the day, if anybody's starting a small business, I cheer them on 100,000,000% because I know how tough it is to run a small business and start a small business from scratch. I know how it is to do it with another person. Okay, I know how difficult all of that can be. So if you want to go and do that, listen, I am for you 1,000%. However, when it comes to the YouTube thing, right? Just know that people will watch your video because they watch the Bamboo Project. And if you are not holding them enough that they want to continue to watch it, your numbers not going to look very good. So this is Melissa and I giving you, everybody, I want to go watch the video. I thought it was funny. And then y'all can let us know here and let them know what you think they could do better, what you like or don't like, and things of that nature. All right. So shout out to Jelani and Grace. We will see y'all. Hopefully by the time this video is done, y'all video is up. I'm hoping. Now on to topic number 3. So the next topic is how crazy the next week after will be. Okay. So Melissa and I
90% sure it's next week.
Can't be next week because this
weekend is the 28th, so it's the 4th and the 5th. It's next week.
But like when you say next week, I guess Saturday. I guess that's when it starts.
Yeah, next week Saturday.
But I feel like it's not really starting on Saturday because
it absolutely starts on Saturday.
Why you say that?
Because you will not take another day off. So it absolutely starts on Saturday.
Okay,
so working every day after that.
So what Melissa is talking about is starting next week, Saturday, will be
hell.
Right, it will be hell week. All right. So on Saturday of next week, which will be the 4th and the 5th, not this weekend coming up, not this weekend coming up, the following weekend, the 4th and the 5th of February. right? All right. So on the 4th of February, we will be at Artists and Fleas in Brooklyn. And then on the 5th, we will also be at Artists and Fleas in Brooklyn. And then that is where the fun starts. February 6th will be our first ever time doing Chelsea. And y'all know how much we have been talking about Chelsea for months. Probably almost close to a year at this point. All right. A lot of y'all are going to be new. And for those who are new, I'll give you a little rundown of how Chelsea works. Chelsea is a very large market. Okay. For those of you who are interested, you can go on Google and put in artist and fleas, Fleas, and put Chelsea. Okay, you can go on YouTube and put in the same name, Artists and Fleas Chelsea, and you can see what kind of foot traffic, what kind of media attention that location gets. Okay, it is right next to the Google building, if not in the Google building. There are so many restaurants in there. They have restaurants, they got food, all types of things. Then in the back where we are at, and it's 2 floors, in the back where we are at, okay, there's so much stuff there. That is where the Artists and Fleas has their location. Okay. So the reason why we are so excited about this location is because the people that we have spoken to in the past that have done this location have said it is amazing. I have never heard one person complain about the location. Even on a slow day, they say a slow day is a Saturday where we're at right now on Williamsburg. Okay, on average on a Saturday in Williamsburg right now is kind of slow, so I would say on average about $800. We have made $1,800, so that could be the range. I think on a regular Saturday, $1,100 to $1,200 a regular Saturday. I think right now it's slow. The high end is $1,800, the middle is $1,200, the low is $800. That's kind of what I see for Saturday. So they are saying that over there, a slow day is a Saturday over here. So in my head, I go, okay, what number would I ascribe to a projection for us doing this market? Okay, if I go based off of dollar amount, I say if we're doing a low Saturday over here, then we're going to do $800 a day at this place over here. Okay.
That's $5,600.
Right. Melissa has noted that is $5,600 that we would make in 1 week if every single day was just as slow as a slow day in Williamsburg. The foot traffic in Williamsburg, when I say slow, here's an example. I got a perfect example for y'all.
Put a video.
Oh, no. I mean, I'll give them some numbers to give them an idea. And actually, like Melissa said, I'll put a video up as well. So last week, the day before yesterday, I counted how many sample cards we gave out. Okay. So what we do for people that come to the craft fair, we have cards with the scents on them, and we hand them out to people at the fair that come by the table who we're talking to, things like that. So last weekend, we brought 250 sample cards. We were left with 175 sample cards. Okay. So we started with 250. No, 75 plus 75 is 125. Was 150. We started with 300, and then we were left with 175. All right, so let's do the math for that. So we're gonna do 300 minus 175 is 125. So we have given out 125 sample cards that day. All right. So giving out 125 sample cards that day, we made $900, and it was god awfully slow in there. This place over here at Chelsea is significantly busier than this place. So if I'm going off of how slow that place was, and I'm using the numbers, I'm gonna say I would add, what percent would you feel comfortable saying Chelsea is more in terms of foot traffic than Williamsburg is?
I don't know.
You think twice as much? You think 50% more? 3 times as much? 10 times as much?
I would say it would be like 2 to 3 times.
2 to 3 times as much. Okay. So that means if it's 2 to 3 times as much, that means if we're going by that number, okay, it sounds crazy, as I'm about to say it, just because to multiply how much money we're making by 2 or 3 is really crazy. Because that would mean that we would be doing $1,600 to $2,400 in a day. Now, we have never...
Listen, that...
Right, we have never...
If we make $1,800 on a good day, and they said that's a slow day.
Right. The busiest day at Williamsburg in Brooklyn is nothing compared to the busiest day at Chelsea. And our busiest day, we made $1,800. So... Again, I like to stay somewhat conservative. You guys can tell me what you think I should be gauging or projecting it off of based off what you see in the pictures and so on and so forth, right? The number I'm going with right now, and I'm being conservative, and I feel like this is very, very conservative. I'm going with $1,000 a day. And I feel like that's still too...
That's conservative as well. I think that's too conservative.
Too conservative? Okay. So what would you think?
I would say I feel like we should be able to do
$1,200 a day? Okay, so $1,200 a day. Melissa, y'all love Melissa, the League of Villains. So $1,200 a day. The leader of the League of Villains has said that we could possibly make $8,400 in that 1 week. Okay, $8,400 in that 1 week, and roughly our margins are about 40%. We have like a 40% profit, okay? So I'm gonna do times 40%. That means that we would net $3,300 in 1 week. $3,360 will be deposited into our account free. And that's after we, mind you, when I say that is the profit, that means that after we bought another craft fair and after we bought inventory for another craft fair, and that counts transportation, and that counts food to get there. And after we pay for all of those things, we then have $3,360 left over. Now, here is why this is even crazier, okay? Because y'all know me. I'm trying to hit 500K this year. I want to hit 1 million, but we on 500K. That's what the goal right now is. The 4th is Saturday. The 5th is Sunday. We start on the 6th, okay? Last week, I told y'all that we almost lost out on some craft fairs. If y'all been here with us for a couple of months now, you'll know that last year, probably around August, September, like October or so, something very similar happened where it was a Saturday, and we were at the craft fair. So Melissa and I are looking at each other like, okay, babe, I think we should book another fair for next week. And we're like, okay, we're going to do that. We're going to do it. But because we don't have really any money, we're like, okay, let's wait until tomorrow, Sunday, where we make some more money. We don't want to overestimate, and we want to try to hedge our bets. Okay, so we think one more day will be fine. We wait until Sunday. The following day, right? When we go to check to see if we can book the following craft fair that next Saturday, the next 5 weeks are gone. Now think about how crazy that is. On Saturday, the next week was there. So consequently, the week after that was available. Up until the end of the year, the weeks were available. We waited 1 day, probably 12 hours, 15 hours. And the next 5 weeks were gone. And we were like, wow, that's crazy. That is crazy. So then we said, you know what? We got to book a craft fair. We got to book one. So we ended up booking one like weeks out in advance, right? Shout out to Carlene at the time, right? She was holding us down with that one. Monday comes, Melissa and I get into a little spat about whatever we get into a spat about. And in this spat, we end up, one of the reasons we were spatting was because we were trying to figure out how much we should spend on a craft fair, if we should book it right now. What should we do? We already have 3 booked. Shout out to Carlene. We're like, okay, we're good. We got this. By the end of our spat, another 4 weeks gone. And we're like, this is crazy. We were like, okay, we have realized never again will we let craft fairs go. If we have the money, we're gonna book it. Because now that we have no craft fairs at that time, we had no money coming in from that at $0. And we're sitting here like, this is preposterous. So now, fast forward to where we are at today. Friday comes up from last week. that Melissa and I are talking about again, booking the craft fair. And it's funny how you can always know the right thing to do, but depending on what time it is to do it, it'll make you question whether or not it's the right thing to do. And that's the crazy part, because Melissa and I know, like, hey, we are never gonna let a craft fair go. If we have the money to book, we're gonna book it. But then we're like, okay, we have the next 2 weeks booked out. Should we book that third week? We're like, nah. So we can book the third week next week, right? Even though we had the money for the third week, we're like, nah, we're gonna book it next week. So it'll just be 2 weeks in advance. So we wait. So Melissa and I waiting. We go and check the schedule. 3 weeks gone. 3 weeks, 3 craft fair weekends gone. And we're like, this is ridiculous. It's like this, how is it that, mind you, at the place, they don't even have that many open available spots. Like, when I say that, let me rephrase that. They had vending booths that were open. Like, they were blank, bare, nothing was there, no one was there. How you go from having 8 to 10 or 12 open spots to now everything is booked up, we can't even get in. So we're like, this is crazy. We try to go and talk to the people that own it, and we're saying, hey, listen, people love us at the craft fair. Like, can we figure out something to do? Can we find a way around this? Okay. Melissa reached out to them via email. We're waiting a couple of days. Martin Luther King Day passed, and then we get an email back. They said, listen, we got y'all. We opened up 3 more spots for y'all at the craft fair. So now we're like, I bet. We only could book 1 though, so we just booked the 1 and hope they wouldn't feel bad if we didn't book the other 2 right away. So now we have that 1 booked. Okay, now here's why I'm telling you all of this. One of those weekends was the 4th and the 5th. The other one was the 11th and the 12th. Okay, so what does that mean? That means that we are double booked 2 weekends in a row, and we're working that entire week. So the 4th and the 5th were we're not double booked. We have 1 fair on the 5th, on the 4th, 1 on the 5th. From the 6th, which is Monday, to that Friday, which is the 10th, we have 1 fair every day, which is from 10 a.m., 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. At Chelsea, where it's busy as hell. Then we have the 11th, where we are double booked. Okay, we are going to be at Chelsea and at Williamsburg. All right, and then for the trifecta of it all, because y'all know how I like to get down. Okay, on the 12th, Sunday, February 12th, the Sunday before Valentine's Day. Okay, we are triple booked. 3 different craft fairs at the same damn time. Okay, that's Grand Bazaar, Williamsburg and Chelsea, Williamsburg and Brooklyn. That's not what I meant to say. Artisan Fleece Brooklyn, Artisan Fleece Chelsea, and Grand Bazaar. Now, Grand Bazaar, for those who do not know, we booked that one like last year. The lady said, hey, we have some special spots available for different type of events. Do you want to book it? Like, do you want to book it? I'm like, yes. So they're very spotted. So there's like Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, like New Year, different times of the year. They just kind of picked it out. One of those happened to be the weekend before Valentine's Day. So it's already booked. Y'all know what happened with us missing last year's fair. We're not letting it happen again. So we booked another one at Williamsburg. Now we're triple booked. So now the fun part is, this was my fun. I love this part, okay? The fun part is trying to figure out the logistics, because whenever you scale anything, there is always going to be friction just by growing a business, all right? So my philosophy was very different than my beautiful, phenomenal, amazing girlfriend's philosophy, and my sister, funny enough, and anybody that's probably very conservative. My philosophy is get the deal first. Worry about everything after. Okay, so I'm going into it like, how much money can we make? Okay, can we book the fares? We can do that. We'll figure everything out else after that. Now, Melissa and I, as y'all know, got a little back and forth into it because she's conservative. Y'all know this is how she's my hedge. Like, if y'all invest in finances, you got to have a diversification of your assets in your portfolio. Okay, Melissa is my diversification hedge fund. Okay, so whenever I have something that I want to do, make $1 million, talk to Melissa. She's like, she'll be like, that sounds like a lot. That sounds like a lot. I go, okay, fine. So which part of it do you feel like causes you the most stress, anxiety, and which part do you feel like I can alleviate? Right? So we're having that convo.
Oh, okay. That's what you asked.
Oh, no. I know which part you think. You could, during your session, during your segment, you could tell them how you felt about this. So we're having that conversation, and she's telling me a lot of stress is coming from how we're going to get the people to do it. Because we're double booked in 3 different locations, it now becomes a logistical issue. Okay, how can we get who to what and who goes where? Do we have enough people? Do the people's schedule align with that? What happens if they don't show up? What do we do then? I'm like, all right, got it all locked in my head. I'm locked in. I got that. Okay. The other thing which I was trying to avoid, 2 things I want to avoid. Okay, there are 2 things that I want to avoid. One thing I want to avoid is having people at a craft fair that have no experience. Okay, like by themselves. So I think the best scenario that we can do is Melissa and I at 2 locations and then her brother at a 3rd location, because he also has a lot of experience. Honestly, he has the most experience after us 2 in doing the craft fair, and he's really good at it. So I would rather somebody be paired with him to do it. He can't work on Sundays. Okay, this is now you have a scheduling issue. All right, he can't work Sundays. My mom can't work Saturdays, and Sundays is my mom and my sister's mother-daughter time. So I'm like, okay, who can we figure out? Oh, you know we should have called? I forgot his name. From we were talking on Discord. He was the first person to ever tell us about Discord.
Oh,
Zaire, yes. So Zaire, if you're watching and you want to make some money, hook us up. We got you. Okay. We got my mom, my sister, me, Melissa, her brother. That's 5. Okay.
Still need like.
Right. Each fair needs at least 2 people. So just off of those numbers alone, on Sunday, we don't have enough people. That's the first problem, okay? So we got to find somebody else. Anybody else that we find probably has 0 experience with doing a craft fair. Maybe very little to 0 experience. So they can't be by themselves. Also, her brother does not do Sundays. So now you got to subtract 2 people because it can't be by themselves. So that is what we were...
Your mom can't do Saturday.
Right, and my mom can't do Saturday. So Saturday's a little bit easier in a sense because Melissa and I could kind of split up on Saturday. But this is what I told her. I said, babe, on Saturday, I don't want us to split up on our first weekend at Chelsea, because if we the bomb squad, right? We have to attack our first day like, okay, we coming in here strong. What do we prepare for? What is it like? I need a super team here that knows the process. We know what to do. The bag's already ready before you even put your card down. We done checked you out. Everything is good. We need that. No friction in a situation where the variables are too deep. Okay? That's how I look at it. I don't mind having more friction in a place like Williamsburg. We had that spot on lock. We know it from top to bottom. We can tell you how to do it. We can have somebody else come in and do it. We know it. People know. Melissa will tell you about this later. People at the fair know how much we got it locked in that they will come up to us and sell a candle for us. They know our script so well. They will be like, okay, here's how you get a candle. So you gotta do this, and you gotta do this, and you gotta do this, and you gotta do this. I'm like, Williamsburg is good, but me and Melissa at Chelsea, we don't know. Right now it's untapped market. So 1 week begins Hell Week. 9 days of straight money making, getting to the bag. Y'all know where we came from. Y'all know how much craziness it was. Y'all know how December was, fighting over Pop-Tarts, arguing. Y'all know how it was before that. We had no fair. Y'all know the house. Y'all know Turo, Airbnb. I'm telling you, depending on how these 9 days go, could be the launching pad for one of the greatest companies ever. I'm telling you that right now. You heard it here first. We're going to see, depending on how it goes, because what I want to do is the first week will be us testing it. The second week will be us getting getting settled in. By the 3rd week, I want to start hiring people. I want to bring people in to go, hey, we need you to be able to learn this and sell these candles. Because once we can remove ourselves from that and have people doing the fairs, we can expand to other fairs, or start growing the online business, okay? Because that growth is, the ceiling for that is significantly higher. And it's harder to do if we're focused on the craft fair. So if all Melissa got to do is focus on making the candles, all I got to do is focus on, okay, how we take a picture, where we going to take it, that's it. And email, that's it. Instagram, I could do that. That's very, in terms of energy output, easy. I could do that. So now, one of the reasons why we were on the fence about whether or not we would even, this is topic number 4, be able to even do the craft fair is because we needed inventory. All right. Yeah, I remember last year when Melissa had found a loan, not a loan, it was a grant, a $5,000 grant. That money, poof. As soon as we got it, we had so much bill, it was just gone, right? But one of the things we made sure to spend it on was booking this craft fair, the weekly one, for $1,500. All right. So y'all know me. I'm always with get the opportunity first, worry about everything else after that. So we had the money to book the fair. Let's get that. Next question is, how do we get inventory? All right. So now, we're doing craft fairs. We're buying like some items here. We have Uline, which is a good one because they give you things for free. So because it's for it's free. It's free. So because they give you things for free and make you pay later in the future, it's free to me. So we made sure that we got the items in a time span that we will be able to do the fair and then have to pay for the stuff after the fair. We could knock off that price from the inventory. Then we had a lucky break because I had to change the email on the account because shout out to the Shop app. It's an amazing app if y'all don't have it and y'all order stuff. SHOP, amazing app. It pretty much, if you sign in, it will tell you all of your things that you have out for delivery. It just tells you all of that right there. So when we change the app or the email address for the fragrances that we buy, they considered us a new account. So they gave us a 22% new account discount. Okay. So now we get 22% off of the products from there. Plus we have the free items from Uline. I'm like, okay, we moving. Now, because we have craft fairs also locked in, right? We're making some money. So now we're buying a little bit more inventory than we need. Just a little bit, not enough to really like hold us down, but enough to get us prepared for it, right? Like we might only be able to do a day or two from what we already had before. And then I was trying to stagger how much we were selling to how much we would need for Chelsea. So if we selling 40 at Chelsea, Melissa gonna make 50 or 60. So we have another 10 or 20 for the next day. All right. Boom. The Kiva loan come in. Okay. $1,000. Shout out to Melissa. Found that Kiva loan amazing. Came in super clutch. All right. Melissa been working her ass off these 3 weeks. Kiva loan, $1,000 goes to inventory. All right. We almost there. We almost had the full mark to get the inventory purchase for the fair. The 1,000 was great. So next up, we're like, all right, what's the other ones we have up? There's 2 other ones. I talked about them last week a little bit. One of them, I don't know what the brand is called. What's Vivi's brand company?
New York Business Solution Center. New
York Business Solution Center. Okay. They said, hey, we can give y'all some money, but it can't be a lot because y'all credit score is too low. But here's what we'll do. Here's what we'll do for you guys. Instead of just giving y'all money, we will buy the inventory for you and book the craft fairs for you, and you guys will pay us back that money. And I said, I'm like, let's do that one. I like that. That sounds like great. That's good news. Let's do that one, babe. So they say, okay, we got you. They've been dragging their feet though. So that one is on standby. We don't have nothing from them. They haven't booked anything or bought anything. Next one up, we have, what's the other one's name, babe? What's Stefan?
That's Score.
Score. Okay. SCORE. They're supposed to give us $5,000, but for them we need a co-signer. Now they could have given us $50,000, $60,000
50 to 65
to $65,000 if we had a higher credit score. Okay, but y'all know we don't have a higher credit score. Mine is like what is yours? I think it's like 530 now, right?
Mine was like 525.
And that's with Experian. Okay, I don't even know what mine is at this time, but I think it's somewhere in the 550s or something like that. So I'm thinking to myself, all right, if they give us well, let me backtrack. They said they would only give the $50,000 to $65,000 if we had a cosigner who had over a 650 credit score, I believe they said. So we don't have that, but they said, okay, if you don't have that, fine, we could try and get you $5,000. So we're now waiting on him to do his thing and talk to his people to get us to $5,000. So now, in this process, right, we're like scrambling, trying to figure out how we're gonna fund the rest of the inventory, because the thing about it is, because it's coming up so quick, we have to make a lot of those products early. They got to be done, prepped, ready, everything good to go before the craft fair start, which means you have to order it a week before, because everything always comes in like a week. So pretty much that means we have about, if the craft fair is on the 15th, by the 5th, we should be ordering stuff. No. That's not even true. Let's just say this. 2 weeks in advance from every craft fair, we should be already ordering things. Because everything for it to be delivered and made, 2 weeks. That's this week. That'll be this week, right? So, shout out to my guy, Bill, right? So, he had hit me up and he was like, hey, I see you guys are working. Is there any way I can help? I see that you guys need a cosigner. Let's see if I can do something for that to help you out with that. I'm like, all right, cool. So we started going back and forth talking about it, trying to figure out what would be the best way to be able to buy this inventory, right? So now him and his wife, shout out to Terri, they start talking. They go, okay, we think the best thing to do would be, instead of co-signing, just loan you guys the money directly. That way it's a lot easier, it's a lot cleaner. If anything were to happen to anybody, there's less risk on both sides, so everybody is good. I'm like, I like that. Talk to Melissa, she likes that. Now we both like, okay, this is great, we like this is good. So they agreed to loan us the $5,000 that we were gonna get from the cosign score people. Okay, so now that money is the last money that we needed to be able to fund the craft fair. Okay, as soon as we had the conversation and Bill and Terri sent the money over, I was up, and that night I was buying, I think I spent $1,700 on supplies in the middle of the night. I'm like, oh, I gotta get the discount. I want the discount one. I'm like, I'm trying to get everything. I'm buying it in bulk so it's cheaper. I'm like, oh, we ready. I get expedited shipping. I'm like, we need expedited shipping. We need it here tomorrow. We gotta get everything ready. I want us to walk into the craft fair. What's that song? Okay. All right. That will be us walking into the craft fair, okay? Ready. Like, we got the candles, we got the wick trimmers, they are wrapped, everything is good. We got the setup. We walk in there ready to kill it. That is what my goal is. So we have successfully gotten to a point where we are able to fund the entire first week at Chelsea, okay? This is like, I said it in the vlog, right? So y'all will see it on the next candle vlog on the candle channel. Ember Candle Co. We do weekly vlogs of everything I talk about on here, and probably some things I don't are gonna be on there. I don't think, maybe y'all know, maybe y'all don't, okay? A lot of the things, the majority of the things that we have gotten to have been because of the help of so many people. Like, so there are times, like I said, there will be times where we're sitting here like, okay, what can we do next? And then someone helps us out, either whether it be loaning us money, whether it be connecting us with somebody else, telling us about a program. It's so many things, helping at the craft fair. There are so many things, because like even with the craft fair, we could not be triple booked at a craft fair with just me and Melissa. It wouldn't work. It wouldn't work. Like, it's like I said, the amount of help, people sharing the candles, people buying the candles, people telling other people about the candles. I'm like, this is crazy. And it'll never be lost on me about how we got to where we are. Even as hard as we work every day, killing ourselves, doing much as we can do all the time, that only gets us to like 97%. Where it's like we are right there. We can see right over the hill. And then you have like the magic angel hands are like, oh, they just kind of like push you over. And I say it in the podcast, I say it in the vlog, and I don't really want to go into it too much here because I say it more in the vlog. But when I was younger, I used to always hear huge celebrities, successful company runners, CEOs and things like that say, I would not be here without these people, right? And I'm like, bro, why you lying? Like, you lying, bro. Like, you saying that to be nice, you're lying. And I'm like, no, like, we would not be where we are without so many people. And like I say all the time too, I'm not gonna name everybody because the list is so long, I would forget people, and I would not want anybody to feel left out. So the people that helped us know they helped us. Whether it be, like I said, every time I think of a thing, right? I'm like, I don't say it. Just y'all know, if y'all watch the podcast, who has helped us, when they've helped us, whether it be buying materials, lending us money, telling us about this, putting us on to that, a lot of things. There's so many different things. So, like I said, I say this again, it will never be lost on me how we got to where we are at all. And it's like they call it luck, but I heard a quote where the luckiest people are the people that work the hardest. So as long as we keep working hard, we're gonna keep running into luck. We're gonna have opportunities that come because we're working as hard as we are. So like I said, it is just crazy. And I say it in the intro, and I want y'all to know I am very serious, okay? 1,000 millionaires is the minimum. That's the minimum of what I want to do. I want to help 1,000 people become millionaires at the minimum. Whether that be through interest, whether they loan us money, we pay them back, whether it be we invest in a company that they have when we have more money, because, right now we don't have that money, or whether it be connecting somebody, like, hey, you do this and you do that, I got you with this person. Whatever the thing is, I want to help 1,000 people go from wherever they are at to $1 million. Like, at the minimum is 1,000. That's what I want to do. And one thing that I thought was funny too, I was talking to Bill about it, right? We're kind of talking about credit scores, and y'all know how I feel about credit and this and that. But it never dawned on me, for whatever reason. Maybe I said it before, maybe I didn't. If I know someone that has the money to loan to us, they are the same person as a bank or some other financial institution. The only difference is there's no credit score for your friend or your family. It's not a tangible score. It's, do I believe in what you're doing, and do I trust that you will be able to complete the task you're trying to get to? And that's it. But the funny thing is, it's the same thing for the banks. But I don't know the people at the bank. I don't know them. So they have to come up with all these different metrics of how can we figure out whether this person is trustworthy or not, whether they'll pay us back, how much money do they make per year, what is their job, where do they live. They have all these metrics to try and figure out, are you creditworthy? Like, can I trust you? That's it. That's literally it. And if you have a network of people that have money and that trust you, it's the same thing. It's literally the same thing as having a high credit score. Like, it's the same thing. And here's the funny part too, right? Well, is it? Yeah, for sure. It absolutely is. Because I was going to say, even if you have a really high credit score, but you don't make any money, will the bank loan to you? They probably won't. But if you have a high credit score with friends and family, they will loan to you even if you don't have even if you don't make money, but you have a high credit score with them. So I was talking to my guy, Tori, shout out to Tori, and he was telling me about something called a family office. I don't know how many people have heard of it. I have never heard of it other than this time he told me about it. And pretty much how it works is, you think of the huge families like the Walmart family, or you think about, even go maybe to Zuckerberg. He's probably too young for that, but more of the older generation families that have money, right? They have so much money that they have to hire like departments of people to manage their money. So they will have like an in-house investment team of maybe, let's say, 40, 50, 100 people or whatever, who just invest the money that they make to keep it going for the rest of their life, and the next generation, and the next generation, and the next generation, and the next generation. The funny thing about them is that they have so much money, though, they can only invest into things that are massive. Because if I invest $1 billion into a candle company, right, at this stage of where you are at, you may not even know you may not be able to make enough money that I will be able to make money off of that. So if I give you $1 billion and you go to craft fairs and you make 25 million a year, or 10 million a year, that's not really enough money for the $1 billion. Yes, you're not making 10 million a year, but we gave you $1 billion. That's what, 0.0, let me see, that's 0.001%, pretty much, if you're making that kind of money. So they have to only invest in things that are going to make them hundreds of millions of dollars a year, things like that. So with them, though, there's no credit score. It's based off of what you can produce. And it's crazy because once you are able to have people around you that have money and trust you, it can be better than going to a bank. Because even as me and Bill talked about it, you will 99% of the time, you will get a better loan from a friend or family than you will get from a bank. Like, you will. And with the crowdfunding thing, which is the craziest part to me, to get the $1,000, we got there with loans of $25. $25, which is not a lot for a lot of people. So, but multiple people say, you know what, we believe in your business, we believe in you guys, here's $25. Enough of that gets to the $1,000. Now the $1,000 that we can make from that, we could go to the craft fair, book 3 different dates, buy inventory or whatever. So listen, I just think that to me is just every time I think about this, every time I think about network and friends and family and things like that, it's a support system, my brain just goes, starts jiggling. But now off to the next topic. New Year Live. All right. So Melissa and I have decided that we will be doing at least one live every single month at the end of the month to kind of recap how the month went, update on numbers, update on goals. Will we be changing any plans going forward? How are we feeling? What did we learn? Just anything like that. Anything guys talk to you guys, have questions, pull up. If you want to watch the 3 Leaves Project video, we go watch it together on the live, whatever. Just us all kicking it one time at the end of every month. Right now, it may change, maybe be more, but as of right now, we could probably manage at least one, and we're gonna do that every single month. Yeah, it's gonna be here on the Bamboo Project channel, the live every single month.
So our first live is next week Tuesday.
Yeah, so our first live will be next week Tuesday, which will be the 31st of January. We'll do community post about the exact time of it. When y'all hear this, it'll be Sunday, unless you are listening to it online or the audio of it. Now it is the League of Villains segment. All right, guys. So I'm gonna let the leader of the League of Villains chit chat y'all up, and I'll be back after that.
Last week's craft fair. Craft fairs have been real interesting, y'all. One thing that's been happening reoccurringly that did not happen last year is the inspiration. Spit my tongue. all the inspired people that we've encountered so far doing these craft fairs. And that's not something that really happened last year. That's something that really started this year. And we kind of figured out what the culprit is. Donovan said it this weekend, and I'm like, yep, that's it. It's the bell. It is the bell. So the way that it works is that when you play the game with us and you win the game, the winner ring the bell, gets to ring the bell. I think before we had a bell, even though we're still playing the game and going through the same spiel and going through our, selling our product the same way, without the bell, there's nothing to draw our attention, draw us to other people's attention. Like, you would just kind of see the bags and be like, oh, okay. And you kind of know, like, okay, somebody here is making sales. I see the bags, but you don't really know who unless you, like, really look for it. That type of thing. The bell is kind of like a beacon, like a, hey, we're over here. There's people over here having fun. And it really solidified that concept this weekend. So Donovan has stepped off. I think he was like sneezing outside or something like that. And there was a guy that had came up to me with this woman. I was by myself at the table when I was selling the candles. He just came. Mind you, I'm on the phone. He came up. He was like, "Hey, can we play the game? Can we play the game?" Right? I'm like, "Oh, okay, sure." It was dead. It was dead, guys. So he came up to me. He's like, "Yeah, can we play the game?" I'm like, "Okay, sure." Right? He looked familiar. I'm like, I feel like I saw him this morning, early in the morning. So I think he's a vendor. So I set up the game and everything for them to play. And I'm getting ready to explain how the game works, and he's telling the woman, like, okay, this is what you do. You match this, and you do this, and you do that, and blah blah blah, right? And in my head, I'm like, okay, so he know how the game work, like, because I've never seen. Like I said, the first time I saw this man was probably that morning. I did not see him Saturday. We were there Saturday. I didn't see him Saturday. I didn't really know who he was. I saw him that morning. So, okay, they playing the game and everything like that. She's like, okay, this is what I think. Okay, what happens now? He's telling her. I'm like, okay, so I'm hands off, not really doing nothing. So she checks her answers, and it turns out that she got them wrong. But he's like, can I still ring the bell though? I'm like, yeah, sure, ring the bell. So he's ringing the bell, ring, ring, ring. All right, cool. And I asked him, like, oh, are you a vendor here? And he's like, yeah, man. I woke up early this morning. He said, I woke up early this morning and I meditated because I was trying to figure out how to make a game, because I know I need a game. I saw you guys. I'm like, I need a game. And he figured it out. I was meditating. I was trying to figure it out. And I'm like, oh my gosh, right? So I'm just like listening to him. And he's like, so I came up with this game. I took like half of this money and half of that money and I put it together, because he sells digital art. And he's like, yeah, I try to get people to guess it, but it was too easy. It was too easy. So it wasn't, they didn't figure it out. But I know what the problem was. That's what he said. I know what the issue is. I need to get a bell. That's what he took from it. I'm like, okay. And I think it's so hard to describe how crazy this is, because where we are in the market, we're all the way in, like, we're in the middle, all the way off to the side. He's like all the way in the back of the store, and he knew exactly how to play the game. He knew what you get when you win it and all that stuff. And it's just kind of interesting, because it's interesting to be in a place where, like, everyone's watching you like that, and it's not something that I'm used to. And it wasn't something I was expecting. So it was just kind of, it's happening week after week now. It's just week after week after week. And I think it's crazy that people are coming up to us telling us, like, hey, yeah, I woke up early trying to steal your stuff, man. I was trying to figure it out, couldn't figure it out. And it's like, maybe that's not the right approach. So that was last week. Anything you remember about that? Anything you want to say about that?
Yeah, the thing for me that was crazy was, before that event happened that Melissa is talking about, I saw this guy at the booth next to ours, and I heard him saying, oh man, that's genius. they're genius. That's genius. And I was just kind of like, I've only heard that when people are talking about the game or just kind of everything that we're doing at the table. But he wasn't talking to us. He was talking to a vendor across us. It was probably like maybe 25, 30 feet from us. So then he walks to the vendor who's across from us, who's probably about 6 or 7 feet from us. And he starts talking to her and saying like, yeah, man, today is just so slow, isn't it? And they're having a convo about how slow it is. And he just walked right past us. And that was it. And I'm like, bruh, so many people come in here, talk to the other vendors, and just ignore us completely. Just act like we don't even exist. And I'm like, that's tough. I'm like, it was wild to see it because I didn't know if he was talking about us at first. And then come to find out an hour or two later, he done came over to Melissa and basically read the whole script to play the game with somebody else that he brought to the table. I'm like, bruh. And then he is all the way in the back of the event. He's not where we're at. So I don't even know how he even knew unless he was watching us the whole time.
Bro, that's something like, this is not someone that I've seen. It's not someone that we spoke to before. Like, he knew the whole thing. So I'm like, and where your station is at, I don't even know how you seen all of that. Like, how do you, in detail? Because even the girl was asking, oh, what do I get when I win? I'm about to answer. He answered for me. I'm like, oh shit, okay, so he know the whole thing then. And it's just, it's fine. It's just very weird. It's a bit weird. It's a bit weird because it's like everyone's watching you, but they're not talking to you. But they know that. But they are watching you. Like, it's not passive. It can't be. Like, you can't passively be doing that. You would literally need binoculars from the other side of the store or to be posted up on the side trying to figure out what's going on. You can't just passively be on the other side of the store and know what's going on word for word, bar for bar at our table. I've been journaling strong. Oh, bruh, that's the other thing too. Oh my gosh. Bruh, so I was emotional on Sunday. Right? Real emotional in the morning. I forgot what happened, but either way, I was emotional, and then a little thing Donovan did made me upset. So I was like feeling type of way. When I feel the type of way, what do? I journal. It helps. So I felt type of way. I'm trying to journal. As I'm journaling, getting my feelings out, start crying a little bit. Not loud, just like tears coming down. Bruh. One of the vendors walks up to the table trying to have a full conversation with Donovan while I'm over here crying, like, at the thing, right? And then her husband comes over to join the conversation, and then the vendor across, so this completely unrelated to those two, across over here comes over. Now there's like 3 people over here at the table having a full-blown conversation. Honestly, I don't even think we were really talking to them.
They were talking to you.
They were talking to me.
Like, I was selling a candle, but they were trying to talk to you.
They were trying to talk. Bruh, I'm crying, y'all. I'm literally bawling. I had to go under the table to Donovan. I was like, Donovan, why are they here? I'm crying right now. I don't want to talk to nobody. Mind you, I'm mad at him. But I'm like, what's happening right now? It's just, I don't know. I need to start being mean because obviously, I don't know. I just need some space. But I've come to realize I don't like being in the same place with the same people all the time. Triple booking. Bruh, Donovan is freaking super mastermind genius. I think it's his mission in life to stress me out. I think it is. Because we didn't have to be triple booked. We didn't have to be. We could have just been double booked. You feel me? We could have did Chelsea Saturday and then just did Chelsea and Grand Bazaar because that was already double booked. There's nothing to do about that. We didn't have to add another booking. But, consistency. We're trying to be at Williamsburg every weekend this year. So that also includes, I guess, the weekends that we're also at 2 other fairs. The thing that I was mostly anxious about, like Donovan said, was the people. Because Donovan also wants to do this repeatedly, right? This is supposed to be either like a weekly thing, bi-weekly thing. So We have an awesome, amazing network of people that help us. Like friends, family, like just really freaking amazing people. And for me, I don't want to I don't want to be in a position where like I am now counting on you constantly, because like, and you didn't ask to be in that position, like, you know. But then that's where employees come in. So I'm super excited to start looking at employees, because, you know, there's only so many times in a month, you know, I can ask you to give me your whole weekend, and, you know, you're not going to be able to give me your whole weekend all the time. They have stuff to do, like, you know, it's like that. So I like to go into things a bit more slowly. I don't want to do 3 craft fairs in one weekend, like with like limited planning. Now I gotta call this person, call that person. Hello, can you do this day? You can. What about you? Can't? Okay, cool. All right, bet. Thank you. Like, you know, I wanted to kind of ease it in, but you know, here we are. I am super excited to see how it goes, though. I am honestly kind of scared, because I'm I'm definitely behind. Like, this shit starts next week Saturday, and not a single, like, we only have 1 craft fair's worth of candles already made. This is literally 9 days of fairs. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then we got 2 in one day, and then this is 12 days of fairs. Technically 12 different markets we're gonna be at. It's fucking crazy. So yeah, we're not prepared for that at all. Like, in terms of what is already made, and we've never done 3 fairs before. So we have a setup, right? We have 1 setup. We have a duplicate, not exact, close duplicate of that first setup, right? That's only 2 places. We're triple booked. We need a 3rd setup. That means I have to now make a 3rd setup. So I have to buy the glasses, have to paint them. I have to, I'm thinking about making a garland. Like, that's another light stand. Like, that's another whole set of supplies that needs to be bought for a whole separate display for a 3rd place. So it's just, yeah. It's a lot, but I can't wait to see how much money we make after the end of that week. Oh, and did you tell them about the Square loan? Y'all know we love our Square loans. So we're already on our 2nd one. The way that it works is that once you get to 70% off, they pay off the rest of the loan, they pay off the 30%, and they give you a new loan. So right now we are at 50%. 100% at the end of Chelsea, we will be getting a new Square loan. Like, I just don't know how much it's gonna be, because they take 15% of our sales automatically to go towards the loan. The amount of sales that we're projecting to do, we're gonna go way over, like, but we might pay off the whole loan at this point. So yeah, just stay tuned. Like, road to 500K, y'all already know that is not me. That is not my.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
That was not my initial goal. My initial goal was like 250. 250. That was my initial goal. But the same way that Donovan is hedging himself, the same way that Donovan feels like I help him to hedge himself, I feel like Donovan helps me to boost myself up and to achieve more. So I'm excited to see what listen, y'all, road to 500K. All right, Melissa out.
So Instagram's in the description. You know what it is. #BambooProject 2023. The road to $500,000 this year. And with that being said, Bamboo Project out.